We are live, and I've got some ideas on how I can help more men. Let's talk about it. We're going live.
We'll do it live.
You're listening to the premier podcast for men who want to not only be better with women, but want to be better men in general. This is the Come On Man podcast. And here's your host, Paul Bauer.
Good morning, guys. Happy President's Day. I hope you have the day off today. I do have the day off today. Well, I don't. I'm working. I'm streaming, aren't I? Work never stops in the podcast world. This coffee tastes good in one of these mugs, guys. We are live on a Monday. I'll be traveling Friday, so I decided to push my pre-record interview episode to Friday this week. My guest will be Davrick Lyles from Black Ice Reality Check, and you're not going to want to miss it. That episode was funny because there was like a major snowstorm going on where I'm at when we were recording it, and it was messing up my internet. And so we got like really far into the episode, and then we just kept having internet problems. My internet just kept cutting out on me. It was annoying. So we did get a full episode out of it, and Davrick was pretty cool because I kept track of what he was talking about every time the internet cut out. And so he basically just kept it going after we'd come back on. And so when I edited it, like you could barely even tell. You can barely even tell. I swear. Today might be a short episode. One, I don't see that many people watching live right now. And I think that's normally because most people they don't tune in live on a Monday. And then also it's a holiday, so they're probably all sleeping in. But I want to chat with you guys and get some feedback on some ideas that I had. I've made two courses now. One is the practical law of attraction course, and the other one is my new dating course, right? Well, those courses both are about 5 hours long. They're very extensive courses, right? They're made up of multiple lectures and modules, and that's quite a time commitment for some of you guys out there, and they're also not cheap. Here's the thing, though. It's for guys that want to put the work in, right? Because you got to do the work. If you want to get the results, you got to do the work, right? But there's still some guys that are like, I don't know if I want to do the work on them. Or maybe like that's not their problem, right? Maybe their problem isn't being able to take good pictures on dating apps and get matches and stuff like that. That's all fine, and they're able to actually, get dates, but maybe they just can't keep a long-term relationship going for a while. Maybe they have terrible frame, right? They have good game on the apps, and maybe they get one or two dates. Maybe they even hook up, but they have no frame, stuff like that, right? AJ Matthews from the Dragon Ship and Arm Details channel, he thinks I'm not charging enough for my current courses, but I suppose it's all relative, right? But no matter what, my goal here is to help men out. Okay. And I got the idea of creating a series of short micro courses geared around simple topics that are only about an hour long, right? Just very specific stuff. Just keep them to an hour long, keep them very affordable, right? So these will be way less expensive than my two current courses because they're not going to be as long, right? And I would cover various basic skills just to help you level up, right? And a lot of these things are covered in my book. Okay. Like a lot of the stuff that I'll be talking about in these lectures are covered in my book. But having dedicated lectures about these topics will allow me to go in depth and give you visuals and show you how things are done. Right. So before we get into some of these ideas that we have here today, be sure to like, subscribe, hit those notifications. And do please comment today, right? There really isn't that many people tuning in live this morning. I'm disappointed. But sometimes it's the topic too. Sometimes people are like, yeah, I'll tune out for that, or I'll catch that one on the live stream. Like the law of attraction courses, they don't not courses, but the law of attraction episodes, right? The science of getting rich episodes, man, they do terrible numbers. So I'm imagining this week we're not going to do that great of numbers wise, but hey, prove me wrong, right? Prove me wrong. If you guys are watching live, do consider sending a super chat. That helps support the show probably more than anything else. We do have some activity here in the chat. What's going on? We got Nurse Chick in the chat. Good morning. We have brother Nathan sent a $2 super chat. We'll wait until the 8-minute mark for that. AJ's in the house. He says, get the likes up. Yes, please. And he does say my courses are undervalued in his opinion. Yes, I appreciate that. Nathan says beer club. And yeah, it's Monday. Mondays. You know what? Even still, like when I tune into the Monday pre-recorded live chat, like there still seems to be more activity in there, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. There should be at least 7 likes on this video. You know what's sad, man? I have almost 20,000 followers on YouTube now. And but most of them all come from shorts, right? Because my shorts do really well on YouTube. But so people follow me for the shorts, but that doesn't transition over to the long form content as well. It's like it's probably one of the most annoying things about YouTube, you know, because I'm like, man, I have 20,000 followers. I should have way more views on these long form videos. We're in the too long didn't read generation, right? Which is another reason why I had this idea for these courses. We live in a too long didn't read society. Too long didn't read generation. Yeah. So it's like, a 5-hour course. You mean I got to sit there and learn something for 5 hours? You realize college is like at least 4 years, man. Like you can sit through a 5-hour course, you know what I mean? And listen to it over a period of a couple days. It's not that hard, guys. You know, you guys are just too lazy out there. So it's like, yeah, you know what? Let's give the people what they want. Let's give them an hour-long course. And even then, for some of those people, they'll be like, what? An hour of my day? What about video game time, bro? Jesus. Anyway, so let's talk about one of the first ideas I have for this course, or for these courses, because it's going to be a series of courses, right? And maybe I could bundle them together. I don't know. But, yes, do please support RP Thor and Missy, right? Thank you, Stream Elements, for keeping that going. So the first idea I had was just a basic diet and fitness course, right? And I think that would be good. So the first 3 cover 3 out of the 4 of the muscles, money, game, and frame, right? That John MLD likes to talk about, right? You have to have muscles, money, game, and frame. So this would be handling your muscles, okay? Basic diet and fitness, because what I found, and it blows my mind, and I have a whole chapter on it in my book, but there's so many dudes out there that not only are obese or just overweight in general, they don't even know how to work out. They have no idea, right? Yeah, 7-minute no. Mine's gonna be 6-minute abs, bro. It's gonna be even better. No, but it's gonna be a basic diet and fitness, right? Just to get you started. Many guys have no idea how to work out. They have no idea where to even get started. So the idea of going to the gym is just a mental block for them because they're like, Jesus, I don't even know how to use the equipment, right? But before you go and start learning how to use fitness equipment and bench pressing and all that kind of stuff, there's a lot of guys that can't even just do a basic push-up. You know what I mean? And so then they come up with the excuse of like, one, they don't know how to work out, they don't know how to use the gym equipment, they're self-conscious about their body type, they don't want to spend the money on going to the gym, so they use that as an excuse, right? Like, well, I can't afford to go to the gym. It's like, you don't even need the gym. So this course will teach you how to not even have a gym. Right? It'll teach you basic diet, right? Just how to count your calories. I'll talk about like the apps you can use for that, free apps you can use for that. I'll talk about how to do basic calisthenics. to lose weight and build muscle. Okay. Yes, you can build muscle doing calisthenics and body work exercises. You can. You're not going to get super huge like Arnold Schwarzenegger, but he also was on, Anavar and and D-Bowl and like all the other stuff like that, besides lifting heavy. But if you there's a study that was done a long time ago that shows that women actually prefer a guy with more of the Brad Pitt look from Fight Club than they do the big huge muscle bound guys. The big huge muscle bound guys aren't necessarily for the women's gaze. You know what I mean? But a calisthenics body, right, is absolutely achievable, and that's basically what Brad Pitt has in Fight Club. You know what I mean? So you can do all that with basic calisthenics. So I will teach stuff like that in the course. You know what I mean? Very basic stuff. And then I also plan on talking about this new app that I've been using. I'll talk about this app in the course. It's awesome, man. It's a free app, and it's like basically a daily calisthenics fitness challenge that you do. And I'm loving it right now. I've been doing it for the last couple of weeks, and it's like 15 minutes to 30 minutes of your day. And there's really like no equipment necessary. You know what I mean? And so it's like you do about 15 minutes to 30 minutes, depending on the day. And like when you're done, you're like, you're sweating, your muscles hurt. And it sneaks up on you too. Cause they're like, do 8 push-ups. And you're like, oh yeah, I can knock out 8 push-ups. And then they're like, okay, do 14 decline push-ups, right? Or do these alternating push-ups and stuff. And so I'm doing all these and I'm just like, holy crap, dude. Like after 30 minutes of that, my chest is on fire, right? So I'll talk about all that kind of stuff in that course. I think I could fit that all into, like an hour-long course. Let's see here. We do have a super chat for brother Nathan. He sent $2 super chat. You get the usual.
I was just gonna say it. This guy fucks. Am I right?
Yeah, brother Nathan definitely fucks. What are you guys saying in the chat right now? Yeah. Let's see here. Oh, yes. AJ says, congrats on the 8 million viewed tweet on X. My comment hit 4.5 thousand, pissed people off as well. Yeah. It's like, look at this. It's sharing. Sharing is caring when it comes to going viral on X, definitely jump on it. It's starting to slow down now. My notifications were just blowing up all weekend, and I couldn't see interactions from posts I actually cared about. It was just people arguing in the comments about that one. If you guys don't know, I shared it on the Dragon Ship. Let me see if I can. I'm not going to pull it up now. But what it was it was just a meme about how women that complain about men dating younger women are basically just female incels. And oh my God, it went viral. Let's see here. We have brother Nathan says, let's see here. Hold on. Brother Nathan says he really likes really enjoy the science of getting rich. It's been really good. I'd like to see more stuff like that. Okay. Well, I mean, I'll keep doing it. It's just that they just don't do that. I think they're going to be a slow burn. The science of getting rich series is going to be a slow burn. Nathan did both of my courses. He says they're both great. I did them in 4 days. Yeah, see, because Nathan puts the work in. Let's see here. 7-minute abs. Let's see. Calories in and out. Get off the couch. Yeah. Yeah, it's not that hard. It's really not that hard. Basic fitness gets skipped a lot online. It does. And yes, Stream Elements, smashing like is alpha. Thank you. All right. It says, get Paul's course and you can fuck. LOL. Yes, you can. Yeah, it's true. All right. So then the next topic I think I would do a course on would be basic budgeting, money management, and building wealth. I think that's I have a whole chapter on that too in my book. It's the chapter's on, I think it's chapter 4. It's on how anybody could get rich, right? How anybody could be rich. And most of us aren't taught basic money management. We're not, And it's sad. And I didn't learn that stuff until after I was like 35 years old. But we're not taught that sort of thing. And there's a lot of guys who they actually make a decent living, right? But they never have cash in the bank. Most people, a vast majority of people, don't even have $1,000 in savings right now. They don't. And if they have an emergency, what do? They use their credit card, right? And you ask them, hey man, buy my course, and they're like, oh, I can't. I gotta wait until next payday, because they're basically living paycheck to paycheck, right? Well, I'm going to teach in that course how to budget your money so well that you don't have to necessarily live paycheck to paycheck, because once you do this and you follow the process, you don't have any outstanding debts. And when you don't have any outstanding debts, life becomes so much more easy, right? And you have if you have money off to the side in savings, then you have to use your credit cards as much, right? Because it's an emergency fund, right? You have this emergency fund available when shit hits the fan, and when you're prepared, right? Then you'll find that it's not so much of an emergency. My daughter, I have this for both my kids. I got them started with emergency funds. And my daughter, what was it? Was it last year sometime? I think she was like, all of a sudden she like her tire was going bad, or I can't remember what it was. And she calls me and she's freaking out. And I was like, honey, that's what your emergency fund's for. Just use your emergency fund for that. Just make sure that after you buy whatever, I can't remember what it was. I'm pretty sure it was tire or something. I was like, just remember, when you use it, everything stops, right? The whole process stops. You go back until you could fill up your emergency fund again. And then once you do that, you get back to the process. It's no big deal, right? But that's what it's there for. You don't have to freak out about money problems when you have money available. Okay. And anybody could do it. Literally anybody. You could be working at McDonald's and do this. Okay. So I think I'll do that for a course. That'll handle the money part, right? So the first one is muscles. It would be a micro course on muscles. This next one would be a micro course on managing your money. It's funny because a lot of guys have this concept that chicks want, guys that make six figures and you got to have six-pack abs. It's like, most of the time chicks just want a guy that can handle his money, no matter how much money he's got. He can be making $40,000 a year. As long as he handles his money right, and he doesn't have any outstanding bills and stuff like that. Chicks just want to see that you're a responsible adult for the most part. The bar is pretty goddamn low. All right, guys, we are live today. We are live, if you did not know. Be sure to follow me on social media. The links are in the description. Get on the email list.comeonmanpod.com. You get 20 dating app openers. You get a free chapter of my book. And you also get free stickers. If you don't want the free stickers, just put "don't want stickers" in the address field. I won't mail you stickers, but they're pretty cool stickers. Look at this. I even throw some Rule Zero stickers in there, right? If you're a Rule Zero fan. Speaking of the book, guys, get the book on Amazon. If you go to books.comeonmanpod.com, you could get the book there in all the formats, including Audible and Kindle. And then I have too many of these now, but you can get an autographed copy. Let me drop this in the chat here. Autographed copies available here on Gumroad. And so I have these in stock, right? I have these on hand. If you order them from me, they're the same price as Amazon, but I'll also write a little message in there for you and mail those out myself. So in the chat, there's a link to that. I just got I think I have 6 hardcovers available. And so a lot of people were waiting for the hardcovers to come in. So the hardcovers are in. I've got plenty of them, and they're cheaper. It's cheaper to buy the hardcovers from me than it is to buy from Amazon. So go ahead and do that. What else do we got here? Oh, you know what? Let's just play a commercial for the book, and then we'll continue our topic at hand today. Life is a journey filled with twists and turns. Why is it that essential life lessons aren't taught in school? You probably know that the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, but do you know how to invest in a Roth IRA? We're not taught to build ourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. The roadmap to success is more than just a college degree. You don't have to follow the traditional route. Success isn't confined to a classroom. It's about discovering your own path. You ever wish that someone handed you a guidebook to life when you were 18? Well, it's never too late to rewrite your story. Everything I wish I knew when I was 18. Advice for young men to create a great life for themselves. This book is your compass, guiding you to pick the right career, how to invest wisely, and how to prepare for a fulfilling future. To take control of your health and your fitness. Learn how to date efficiently and find genuine desire. And master the art of leading healthy relationships. Your path is defined by the choices you make, not by others' expectations. Don't wait until you're 35 to unlock your potential. Order your copy now on Amazon. Rewrite your story. Build the life you deserve. Yeah. So like I said, a lot of the stuff in these courses, they'll be covered in the book, So if you just get the book, you could probably skip the courses. Just get the book, read it 10 to 15 times, whatever. But still, sometimes people they don't like books. They don't like to sit down and read. They don't like listening on Audible, right? They want visual demonstrations and stuff like that. So that's where the courses will provide a lot of benefit, I think. So next micro course I think it will be on frame and shit tests, right? Basically it's going to be changing your mental attitude about yourself and how you carry yourself, and it's going to go way more in depth than the law of not in depth. Like the law of attraction course will help you with that, but it's that is more about goal setting, right? Changing your mindset and achieving goals. This is more just purely on mindset and assertive communication, stuff like that, right? So yeah, so the first course would be on basic diet and fitness. So that's your muscles. The second one would be basic budgeting, money management, building wealth. So that will take care of your money. And then this third course would be on your frame. Okay. Now, frame and shit tests. I think that's a big thing that guys struggle with, and really shit tests are really just frame checks at the end of the day. It's a woman testing your frame, right? You also hear them referred to as comfort tests or strength tests or whatever, but it's all the same thing, right? I'll teach assertive communication in that, sticking with your guns, that sort of thing. And not apologizing all the time. And I thought about this morning because I have a client who reached out to me this morning, and he went out to a social event, which is good. And he was telling me that he basically made a sort of a joke at this older lady in the group. And the older lady sort of came back and shit tested him, right? And she was, because he basically called her old. He basically called her old, and she's like, "Are you saying I'm old?" And instead of going, well, if the shoe fits, right? Or if it walks like a duck, or however funny, playful way you could answer that and hold frame, he backtracked and apologized, right? Just fell back on old programming. And he realized it after the fact. And so he, of course he tells me about it because I'm his coach. And it's like, well, good. A big part of changing your behavior is just being aware of it, so now you're aware that you do that. That's the first part, right? You can't change anything until you're aware of it. And once you're aware of it, now you can actively choose to do things to combat that, right? One thing I learned a long time ago is how guys shouldn't apologize all the time, right? A lot of us are trained to just say sorry for no reason, right? Stuff that's even out of our control, we're apologizing for, right? And it's like, dude, stop. If you're apologizing all the time, especially things you have no control over, or you're really not sorry for, you actually are putting yourself in a weaker position. You actually make yourself come across as weak when you do that. And so you realize you don't have to apologize all the time. There's no reason for it, And so just learning that, just dealing with my own personal old programming, I have a lot of internal self-talk about that, right? I'll say something, I'll notice that it pisses someone off. My gut instinct is to go, "Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to piss you off," right? Instead, in my head, I go, "Paul, shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up right now." Right? It's like, instead of saying something and sticking my foot in my mouth more and coming across as weak, just don't say anything. Sometimes just saying nothing is better, you know? Sometimes I'll say that, or I'll say, my gut instinct is to apologize. I'm like, what are you apologizing for? What are you sorry for? Is it not true what you just said? You know? If it's true, it's like, then shut the fuck up, Paul. Right? So I do a lot of this sort of internal self-talk. So I would talk about that and how to cope with those types of situations in that course, right? So that would be on like frame and shit tests. And it's not just women too. It's not just women that test men. The other dudes we test each other, right? The other day at last night at beer club, one of the brothers at beer club dropped a funny meme in there, and I was busting his balls about it. I mean, guys basically shit test each other by busting each other's balls. You know what I mean? So it's like however you handle that, sort of tells the other person like what kind of dude you are. You know, just like if you handle it well, the other dude's like, all right, we can hang out, man. Like we're cool. You know. I didn't learn that when I was a kid, man. I used to get offended so easily. I used to get in fights every year for years, for years. And like, I finally learned, all the way up until fourth grade, I was literally like a little scrapper. I was in major fist fights every year until about fourth grade. And I got into karate. And then my sensei really taught us a lot about basically frame and mindset and stuff like that. And I didn't get into so many fights. I still got into fights pretty much every year, but it wasn't the same. It wasn't like because I was losing my temper and becoming a hothead about things. It was like other kids were losing their temper and I was defending myself, and it was different, but I found that when I got into junior high and I stopped going to karate, that I would lose my temper a lot and get in more fights and stuff, and it wasn't until my mom put me in counseling, and this counselor was like, basically he taught me agree and amplify before I knew what it was called. And when I realized that a lot of times kids will say shit to you to see if they can get a rise out of you. And if they can't get a rise out of you, then they leave you alone. I was like, oh, this is crazy, And so then when I got in the military and guys were busting my balls in the military, I realized like, hey, bust their balls back, and it was like, that's how men interact, right? I didn't learn that when I was a kid. I just got offended by shit and got into big fights and stuff like that. So we'll talk about all that kind of stuff, how to not be offended, right? We live in a society where we're fucking offended all the time. I thought maybe it would be good to do a micro course on breakup and divorce recovery. Because so many guys find their way to the space because they're going through a breakup or a divorce, Hey, Deeper Currents here. Good day, mate. Let's throw a shrimp on the bobby. You know what? You know what's funny? Deeper Currents. I saw a comment from a guy on Facebook the other day, and instead of saying yeah, like in America we say yeah, you say you're a lot in the chat. You're Y-E-R. I don't know if you pronounce it that way, but you spell it out that way. You're. And I noticed on Facebook somebody commented with a you're, and I go, I bet you that guy's Australian. I bet he's Australian. I don't know. You're gonna have to explain that one time, or just let us know where that comes from. Hey, what up, fellas? Good morning. AJ, what's going on, man? How are things in England right now? So the next one would be on breakup and divorce recovery. And I figured I would throw it in there because a lot of guys find their way to the space for this, but I would talk about how to reattract your ex. Yes, it's possible. But then I'd also go on a tirade in that course about why it's a bad idea, how it's low-hanging fruit, how you could do better, how it always ends the same. But a lot of guys find their way to the space because they want to reattract an ex. And so I'll use that to get these guys in, and then I will pivot in the course and set them straight. So don't do it. Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. But I figure I'll throw it in there, right? It's information that people want to know. So I'll throw it in there, and then I'll talk about how to get over the ex, right? Because it's all in your head, you know. A lot of that kind of uh, rejection breeds obsession type stuff. It's all going on in our head. So I'll talk about soothing techniques to get through that, right? Coping mechanisms to help get through that. I'll also talk about setting boundaries with an ex, right? Which I'll probably also talk about setting boundaries in the frame and shit test, not module, but it's that's going to be its own, micro course. I'll talk about that because that's all part of assertive communication. But setting boundaries with an ex is huge because guys don't know how to do that. A lot of guys don't know how to set boundaries with exes. Exes are happy to use them for whatever fucking reason, and guys are trained to be plow horses, and we don't know how to stop. We don't know how to stop, right? My son and I were watching Breaking Bad. We're binge watching it, and was it season 4? I think it was where they get involved with Pollos Hermanos, right? Well, Gus tells him a man provides, even if he's not appreciated, even if he's not respected. That's what a man does. A man provides, right? And so you have Walter just through this whole season, like his wife doesn't love him. His wife, disrespects him. His son's using him for, a Mustang or, Dodge Challenger or whatever. And it's like, no one respects him, except for the cartel, like the criminal underworld, they respect him, but that's it. Right. But he's trying to provide because that's what a man does. Because men are plow horses. Right. So a lot of us have that programming. That's our societal programming that a man provides no matter what. And so you got to be like, no, man, bitch, you broke up with me. You're not my problem anymore. Find a new plow horse. The guy that you're banging right now, he can't change your fucking tire. Fuck off. Right. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that in that module. Guys, join the beer club. beer.comeonmanpod.com. It's a good group of dudes. We have a very active Telegram community. We have a second meetup this month in 10 days on the 29th. Omega Hashira, who's in the chat right now, he volunteered to host that. So join the beer club now. If you join for a year, you can sign up for a whole year. It's only $8 a month. Okay. And if you guys want to work with me one-on-one, coaching is available at coaching.comeonmanpod.com. I had a guy book a free call with me tonight. And I don't know what the hell it's for. It doesn't sound like he's interested in coaching. It sounds like he wants me to be on his podcast. This is for coaching. Okay. If you want to work with me if you want me to come on your podcast or whatever, I'm happy to do it. Just DM me on Instagram or something like that. This is for coaching clients. Okay. FYI. All right, guys. Oh, yes. Like, subscribe, hit those notifications. I didn't mean to hit that button, but whatever. All right. Yes, provides for his hot new plate. Well, you don't need to provide for a plate. She's just a plate. Maybe provide some dick. Anyway, okay. So then the next one I was thinking of doing is maybe just a micro course on just developing confidence. Because that's a big thing that guys have a struggle with too. They're not confident. Like, how do you develop confidence? And a lot of times you would think that confidence comes from wins, right? And it will. But how do you develop that confidence until you get those wins, right? If you don't know how to talk to a girl, and so when you go up to talk to her, you just don't have the confidence. So you just sort of bail out and you walk up to a girl and go eject, and you fucking leave, walk away and don't even talk to her and stuff like that. You don't have confidence. And so we'll never get that win until you break through. So I'll do a whole module on that, like different ways that you can help develop your confidence. And because that's once you get your confidence up, you're going to be super attractive to the ladies. You know, because women respond to a man's boldness and confidence like the same way a man responds to a great pair of tits. All right. They're hardwired for it. So it doesn't even matter if you're not, you know, a 10 out of 10 looking Chad dude. If you're a bold, confident guy and you're funny and you're fun to be around, it's all about how you make women feel in the moment, you know? So how do you develop that confidence? I'll do a whole module on that. That should be good. Pro tip, never say eject to a woman. That's funny. Well, I would say that would be their internal self-talk though, right? Oh, Omega says he's gonna schedule the video call Thursday. Yes. I gotta start putting social media things out there to let them know that there's gonna be a second meetup too. Maintaining attraction long term. A lot of guys find their way to the space because they are in an LTR. They're in an LTR and things are starting to, I don't know, wind down. they're wondering how do they get their girl to bang them again, right? How do I get my girl to do validation sex with me, right? She schedules sex every other Thursday, right? We have sex maybe twice a month at this point. You know, a lot of guys find their way to space because they don't know what's going on. And then when they go and talk to their girl about it, the girl's reading some stupid love language book about like, well, he needs to do chores more, right? So then she's like, well, you know, maybe if you help me out with the laundry around the house, I would put out more. I'll tell you what, guys, doing laundry for your girl is not getting her pussy wet. Okay. Chore play is not attractive behavior. In fact, it puts you in a lower position than her, and she starts seeing you even less attractive when you're doing chore play. Okay. So we'll talk about stuff like that in that course, right? How chore play is bullshit, how the love languages are bullshit, right? The way that they're presented in the book and the way marriage counselors tell you to look at people's love language is fucking bullshit. Okay. So we'll talk about that. Well, I'll do a whole micro course on maintaining attraction long term. We'll talk about dread game type stuff in there, right? I'm reading Ryan Stone's book right now, Dread. I'm slowly going through it because I'm reading the paperback version. I'm about halfway through it. It's fucking good book, man. It's fucking good book. Hey, Tim, what's going on, brother? Haven't heard from you in a while. $1.99 super chat. You get this one.
I was just gonna say it. This guy fucks. Am I right?
Yes, he definitely fucks. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Maintaining attraction long term. I thought the next module, maybe a good module would be on, or a micro course would be on leadership and influence. Leadership and influence. A lot of guys, they would do much better. They would do much better career-wise if they learned leadership skills. And even if they're not a manager in a management position right now, if you learn how to be a leader and how to take initiative and how to lead up and down your chain of command, you're going to go further. You're going to go further in your career field. Okay. So it's a good life skill to know how to have those leadership skills and those influence skills, right? So this will help you in business, and then even in a relationship. If you learn how to set the tone and lead in your relationships are going to last longer too. So it will work hand in hand with the maintaining attraction long term course. Okay, so I was thinking about doing a whole course on that. Just an hour-long lecture on leadership and influence, you know? So look for that. Talk about like leadership principles, influence tactics, and personal development to increase confidence and assertiveness. Okay. A lot of these modules you'll find will go hand in hand with each other, right? What does Mike say? He says, my love language is acts of service. I service you by making all the money. You service me by spreading legs. Yes, sex should lead her to doing chores for you. That's called girl game, right? Girl game. When she makes you a sandwich without asking, that's girl game. I thought I might do a module on style and grooming. And it's funny because you tune into these and you see that I'm a t-shirt and jeans guy, and you're like, what does Paul know about style? I clean up pretty good. You'll probably see pictures over the weekend because I'm going to a wedding Friday. I got to talk this guy out of it. I got to fly out to California and talk this guy out of getting married. But I'm going to a wedding on Saturday, and so I'm gonna be dressed up a little bit. You're gonna see how I clean up. I'm not just wearing the ball cap and the t-shirts all the time. So I might do a style on or a module on style and grooming. Because that's important. A lot of guys they dress like shit. It's like if you just wore the t-shirt and jeans, is like if you wore them so that they fit your frame and your body type better, you would look better. Okay. But a lot of guys are like living in fucking Frumptown. They're dressing in sweatpants and shit. And it's like, no, dude, no. Like old torn up, dirty, fucking baggy t-shirts and shit. It's like, nah. Nah, that's not it, King. We'll talk about, keeping your beard fucking, shaped, you know what I mean? If you're going to have a longer beard, like take it to a professional, at least once every couple of weeks, take it to a professional and then just keep it lined up yourself. Body language, both yours and hers. A lot of guys they don't realize the importance of their body language. They don't even know what they're doing, right? They go to a date and they're like this, right? They're all closed off. This tells a chick that you're not you're a relaxed individual. It's unattractive body language, right? If you go to a date and your arms are crossed like this, you're basically saying, fucking, what do you bring to the table, bitch? Right? And it's like, you might want to know what she brings to the table, but you'll never find out because you're fucking being closed off like this, right? But if you have like wide open, relaxed body language, that's more attractive. If you're leaning back and she's leaning into you, that's all good body language type stuff, right? So a lot of guys don't know that. They have no clue. They're not even consciously aware of the body language and the vibe that they're putting out, but chicks are keenly aware of it, right? I read a book. It's one of my Holy Trinity books, right? Atomic Attraction. He talks about the importance of body language and how they did a study where they had men and women watch a video or videos, and they had the sound off, right? And something like 75% of women like could tell exactly what was happening in the videos based purely on the body language in the videos, right? But only something like 20% of dudes knew what was going on. The rest of the guys were fucking clueless, right? Because guys don't pay attention to that kind of shit. Women communicate with subtext, right? So, and they say something like 50% of our communication is body language, right? I think it's probably more than that, but so we'll have might do a whole module on that. Do any of you guys have any ideas or suggestions on things that you would want me to cover? What do you guys think? I'm taking suggestions too. Like if there's something you would want to see a course on that you haven't seen out there before, and it would just be, a quick, maybe, hour long lecture. Is there anything that you guys would like to see covered? Right. I got a whole bunch of ideas from the guys in Beer Club the other day when I mentioned this to them. And a lot of them sort of go hand in hand with each other, So I figured, I wrote down some of those, but how to shave your balls. You want me to demonstrate that for you, Mike? You want a video demonstration of that, do you? I would probably talk about that in the style and grooming. I just wouldn't give you a visual. You know what I mean? All right, guys, get a close up. Okay, zoom in on this. If you trim the hedges, it makes the tree look taller. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, you want a course on on getting a motorcycle and like why motorcycles are awesome? Maybe. I don't know if I could stretch that out for a whole hour. I mean, you could. I could probably do. I was thinking about it. I was like, I could do maybe basic courses on just standard like how to fix shit. You know, like how do you change your own oil in your car? But here's the thing about that, right? Knowing how to change your oil is a nice to know type thing, but the cost of changing your oil really isn't cost effective. You know what I mean? Like you could when you go to the supermarket or Walmart or the fucking, you know, O'Reilly's, and you go and you buy the filter and you buy all the oil and then you got to dispose of the oil. Like after that, it's literally the same price as going to a fucking Jiffy Lube, you know, for the most part. So it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, you're not really saving any money. So just fucking have someone else do it. But if you need to change an alternator, right, taking it somewhere is going to cost you a couple $100 extra because of the labor you got to pay for. But so changing something like that would be good to know how to do, but still, I don't know if I want to do a course on that. You know, I don't. My stuff's not really like an auto mechanics channel. Maybe AJ could do a course on how to do shit like that. He's like rebuilding his transmission or something right now. I don't know. Any other ideas, guys? If you don't have any, it's fine because I think these would be. There's plenty of courses here that would cover quite a lot of ground. Quite a lot of ground. What do you guys think? You guys are awfully quiet in the chat. If you guys don't have any ideas, just put like no ideas. Just put no, I think those are good or something like that. Just sound off in the chat here. And then we just wrap this up. We wrap up Monday's episode will be, short episode. Let's see. Arm Detail says, I don't know, man. Most places are charging $125 for an oil change around here, including the quick lubes. I pay $70 for liquid moly, expensive German oil and filter. Okay. Mike says, don't want stickers. Yeah, fine. Yeah, I mean, if you're buying, I think that's where you could save some money with it. I've noticed, like if you're using synthetic oil or expensive German oil. I mean, what kind of car do you have? Why are you buying expensive German oil for? Do you have like a Ferrari or something? I don't understand. If you like I have a Toyota truck, I'm not putting expensive German oil in a Toyota. They're going to run, it's going to run 300,000, 400,000 miles anyway, because it's a fucking Toyota, I don't know. Basic maintenance courses, home and auto. Yeah. I mean, I could do that. Clary has a course on, was it The Dad You Never Had? He talks about a lot of that kind of stuff. No ideas. Working through an algorithm while listening to this. Well, that sounds nerdy. I like busting your balls, Omega. Let's see. Encouraging a course and encouraging blokes to try and do it yourself. Everything, something to bring back attraction to your LTR. Yeah, I would. I'd be worried about doing stuff like that as a covert contract, though. You know what I mean? But there is something to be said for just handling shit around the house when it needs to be handled. Like if you're not cleaning the gutters because you're trying to get laid and you're just cleaning the gutters because they need to be cleaned. Like you just start noticing that shit needs to be done around the house, you start handling shit. That's attractive behavior. But doing it because you want to show her like what kind of a great guy you are, that's kind of a covert contract. You gotta be careful with shit like that. A 2013 VW Golf R sticker was $39,000. 2024 was like $35,000 or $45,000. Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't spend the extra. That's just me though. I know, like you're a car guy. You do the detail shit. I barely even wash my car, and when I do, I take it through the automated car wash. I don't fucking care. I just don't fucking care. Yeah, shouldn't be doing it for her. You should be doing it anyway. Yeah. That's what being a man, that's what the being a man part is about. You're doing it because it needs to be done, not because, she wants you to do it or because you're trying to fucking get laid or something like that. It's a different dynamic. But all right, cool. So I think that's probably enough courses then. That should keep you guys busy for a while. And like I said, these would be like really affordable courses, like AJ thinks I'm not charging enough now. Just wait until you take one of these courses, AJ. These are going to be like dollar store price. Just kidding. They're going to be more than that, but they're going to be affordable for like the average everyday guy. Cause 99% of guys, they'll hit me up in the DMs. They have this one problem. I can say, well, why don't you take this course? It's like $47, right? Take this course. And then if you want to work with me, then like, we'll work that out. Right. But otherwise just take this course. They'll probably solve your problem. You know what I mean? That way I can, get guys in a certain direction, get them help immediately. And then they, cause a lot of times they look at like how much I'm charging for the one-on-one coaching. And then they're like they want to do it. They want to do the one-on-one coaching, but then they see the sticker price and they're like, I don't know if I can afford that. Okay. Well, try this course out. Let's see if that helps you out. You know what I mean? And then if you still are struggling after that, then you know what? Maybe it is time that you fork over some money and put some skin in the game and let's work together, right? Blasphemy, the auto car wash. I know. I knew you would hate that. I knew you would hate that. I just don't care. I'm not a car guy. I don't fucking care. To me, like a lot of guys put and there's nothing wrong with this, but a lot of guys put a lot of their, time and effort, and they get their cars like detailed like once a week, and it's like spotless. I know a guy, my mom's cousin's husband, he's like that. He's super anal about his truck. It's like he drives up to their house. They come by like once or twice a year to visit, and my parents have a really long dirt driveway. He drives up the driveway, he leaves, and as soon as he leaves, he has to take it to the car wash to get all the dust off it. It's like, bro, fucking relax. But some guys are like that with their vehicles. I don't know. I just don't care enough. And I run my cars into the fucking ground. Like I'm one of those guys that I'm like, I'm not trading my car in every 2 years and just keeping that car payment. Like I paid cash for my truck, paid cash for that. I'm going to run that thing until the fucking wheels fall off. And then I'm going to buy another car after that with cash. You know what I mean? Yeah, here. Yeah. Tim asked for a link for Beer Club. If you can go to beer.comeonmanpod.com. There you go. There you go. I dropped it in the chat for you, Tim. To quote Obi-Wan, of course I know him. It's me. Is that you? That's funny. Oh, a time management course. Ooh, that would be a good one. That would be a good one. Let me add that to the list here. Time management. Yeah, that would be a good one, because I know a lot of guys that can't manage time. I know a lot of women that can't manage their fucking time well, right? Like you go and set a date with them and then they flake because they forgot that they have to wash their hair for the 15th time or whatever. Bitch, don't you keep a calendar? Don't fucking lie to me like that. You know what I mean? It's fucking bullshit. All right, guys, that's pretty much all I got this episode. We actually stretched it out pretty good. Tune into the podcast Wednesday. We are continuing our series on the science of getting rich. We are up to chapter 12, which is all about efficient action. And guys, remember, the law of attraction is nothing without action, right? Oh, you're thinking of taking a project management course. That would be good. You know what? There's a lot of affordable courses on Udemy. I'm taking a class right now on NLP. I'm trying to get certified as a master practitioner of NLP, and I'm taking it through Udemy. It's fucking really affordable, so you might check that out. The certifications for project management are fucking expensive though, but they're worth it. They're worth the investment, and it's cheaper than going to college. I think it's a couple $100 or something like that, but it's well worth it. All right. Yeah. So guys, tune in Wednesday. We're continuing Science Getting Rich. The law of attraction is nothing without action. Guys, if you haven't done so already, please like, subscribe, hit those notifications. thank you to everybody that sounded off in the live this morning on a Monday. I appreciate it. That helps these shows go by much smoother. Thanks for the super chats, guys. I appreciate that as well. Follow me on social media. Links are in the description. Get on the email list, list.comeonmanpod.com. I'll send you a bunch of free stuff. Get the book. If you go to books.comeonmanpod.com, you can get like all the different versions. You can get the Audible, audio edition, the Kindle edition, paperback, hardcover, special edition. I also have a bunch of autographed copies in stock. So I'm dropping a link to that in the chat there. If you guys really want the book, just buy it from me. It's cheaper, or it's the same price for everything except for the hardcover. The hardcover is cheaper. Okay. Oh, Facebook wouldn't post the link. Anyway. God damn it. Facebook sucks. Anyways, it's in the chat for Facebook. I posted it earlier though, but go ahead and get an autograph copy from me there. Guys, speaking of courses, you can check out the new dating course. If you go to dates.comeonmanpod.com, it'll teach you how to optimize online dating, from dating apps to using social media. All right. So check that out. Dates.comeonmanpod.com. Join the beer club. We are having a second meetup on the 29th, hosted by brother Omega Hashira there. And then finally, if you guys want to work with me one-on-one, book a free call. Go to coaching.comeonmanpod.com. We'll sit down and talk about your issue. Okay. All right. That's all I got, guys. We will see you Wednesday for the practical law of attraction.
This has been the Come On Man podcast. New full episodes served hot every Monday morning on your favorite podcast platform of choice. So subscribe now. Follow Paul on social media.
Wait a second, guys. Wait a second. Sorry. Brother Ed just came in at the last minute with a $5 super chat. I'm going to give him this real quick.
Shame this horse.
Yes, shame these horse. All right, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Let's try this again. Ed, God damn it.
This has been the Come On Man podcast. New full episodes served hot every Monday morning on your favorite podcast platform of choice. So subscribe now. Follow Paul on social media. The links are in the description. Now, go out and get it.